Welcome back, everybody. Joe Everest, the fence expert. Hey, one of the most common pieces of feedback we get about the Saturday morning live Ask the Expert segment is those things are long, and they're not wrong. They last about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours. Sometimes, a few weeks ago, Caleb and I got into a pretty good discussion about marketing. I think it lasted closer to 4 hours. Nobody's got time to sit through 4 hours of listening to a couple experts talk. I get it. So Jeremy's created a new segment just for you guys called Hot Takes. It's usually a shorter segment of the longer conversation, basically hitting the hot topics, if you will, of that live segment. So without further ado, here comes this week's Hot Take. This is Joe Everest, the fence expert. My family's been perfecting their way of building fence for over 60 years, 3 generations. While there's more than one way to build a fence, I'm here to share with you our way. Landmark Creations, what is up? Morning, guys. Question for Caleb. When staining a customer's fence, how often do you stain just one side due to the lack of access to the other side? Thanks.
Well, Joe, I guess it's just situational. Most, probably 98% of our customers, we stain both sides because they want to take care of their full investment.
The complete package.
And sometimes you cannot access the backside for whatever reason. And in that circumstance, our stain it will bleed all the way through the fence. So if you can't get over there, you can't get over there. And then I guess you've got the neighbor issue. And again, that's a 1% of the time thing for us is the neighbor doesn't want it on their side or whatever. And so usually we're always staining the full thing,
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, Caleb, you guys stain a heck of a lot more fences than we do, but we see the same thing. So for us, it's usually not access. It's usually a neighbor that doesn't want anyone on their property, no trespassing. Okay, that's fine. But let's understand, and you touched on this, let's understand that this is a penetrating sealant. So this isn't just a surface. This isn't a film forming. This is penetrating, which means your side of the fence will look polka dotted where it pulls through. Whether it's a knot hole, whether it's just less dense wood, it will pull through and your fence will end up looking polka dotted. Now, if we can come stain that side of the fence, it won't. It'll look great. But if we don't stain it, it will look polka dotted. Right. And that call is totally up to you, Mr. Neighbor. So, but like you said, it rarely happens. I tell you what happens more than that, Caleb, is the thrifty customer that asks how much to only stain one side.
Yeah.
That happens more often.
Yeah.
But the answer there is, well, we've already driven here. We've already got our equipment set up. You don't save much by not staining that other side.
I've already got to be concerned about what's on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, so right. We've already done
over there anyways to make sure we didn't mess something up. So
right. We've already done our site prep. We've already covered their bushes. We've already done all this stuff.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah. You well, and I don't want to talk numbers, but you don't save much, right? So it's not. I think when this thrifty customer looks at the estimate, they go, "Well, I wonder if I could cut this in half by only doing my side."
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and what you take off is better for them than it is for you. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's right. Well, to your point, you're still doing all of the site prep.
Yeah.
On the customer side and the neighbor's side. So it takes, like you said, it takes 10 minutes more to stain their side. So, I mean, so typically what we'll do, and everyone's different, absolutely understood, is typically we'll just adjust the stain quantity.
Mm-hmm.
If they're just dead set, we'll deduct however many gallons we figure it would be for the neighbor, and then the customer sees it, goes, "Oh, that's not really that much." It's not. No. So
the way it is.
But occasionally there's that thrifty customer that says, "Okay, just do my side."
Yep, it happens. It happens a lot.
All right. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're providing a service, right? So if the customer says they only want half of it done or their part of it done, and again, we had the conversation. My biggest thing is the other side of this fence is going to be polka dotted. I promise it will happen. It's not, it might happen.
Yeah. It's good to have a few photos of that and just show it to them. Hey, this is what it'll look like.
Well,
go from there.
and it's one of those things too, is like, I would rather hit it while I'm here, because when your neighbor sees this, I'm going to have to come back out. Right. And so now I'm working for your neighbor, and it's a whole thing. So, and maybe you talk to your neighbor about whatever that difference in cost is, covering that difference in cost.
And people are impressed when they see that, though. They're like, wow, that's impressive. Go ahead and do ours too. So
yeah,
perfect opportunity to educate your customer and gain a customer with a neighbor.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and so pre-COVID, our process was, so typically site prep isn't a 2-man job, right? Typically site prep is a 1-person job. So while the crew chief was doing all the site prep, making sure everything was ready, his helper, for lack of a better term, would go do door hangers all around the house, or the houses around this house. Just saying, hey, we're here in the neighborhood, we're staining a fence.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and that worked. It worked. We don't do it now, just because there's still, in our area, there's still a lot of concern. So we don't do that currently. But part of me thought that we should do that. We should go out and do door hangers when that project gets accepted.
We do the door hangers. We've got a guy here that he's a sales guy, and he will definitely drop door hangers and things like that. And it's in Nashville, and we get really good results. So
nice. Well, so we should probably consider starting it up again.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a rural area, and I don't want to say rural area. You're in a city, but you're not in Chicago or LA,
right?
And I think that, I mean, it's working in Nashville, and so
yeah, you should work in a smaller market.
People
absolutely.
Still need service, so I'm not gonna. It's my obligation to take care of them. So
agreed. So at what step in the process does he do the door hangers?
It depends. Sometimes, so the guy I'm talking about is basically he's the glue. He's a sales guy, but he's also the glue that holds my install teams together. So basically, we set goals for the teams. If you guys hit this number of revenue this month, you'll all get it. Well, he's gonna be like, what do you guys need? And he'll take care of them. But his main job's a salesman. And so if he's driving through a neighborhood that looks good, he'll hit it. He'll drop door hangers. He'll make notes, maybe say, hey, we need some Facebook ads over here. And then if they're trying to hit their goal and he needs to go stain something with them, he'll go help, or he'll go stain a job by himself. And if he's in a neighborhood, and he's going to hit all the houses around him when they're in neighborhoods. So he works kind of as helper, fill in, or, where they need it, quality control. If there's a touch up, it's better for him to go do a quick touch up than it is to send a truck out. So
send an entire crew.
Yeah. So he does that, and he brings in leads. He cold calls. To my surprise, he has a very high cold call, knock on a door. I see you have a new fence, and he closes them, man. He does a very good job. So people, they want it to look good. So
his nickname needs to be the Unicorn.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't find those guys very often.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that concludes this week's Hot Take. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you like the format? Do you not like the format? Let me know in the comments below. We're still figuring this out, and we could use your help. But for now, I'm Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. And I'll see you next time.